Hi everyone. Hope you're doing okay during these odd times we're in. I'm going to be talking about my instructional strategy, which is digital storytelling. And essentially, digital storytelling is a form of storytelling, but through a digital media platform. And it can include art, music, writing, photos, music, narration, audio, really any of that. um, but it's usually done in a digital format. So it can be uploaded to the internet. It can be uploaded to a school website. It can be viewed on a computer, a projection screen, anything of that kind of sorts. And digital storytelling videos usually tend to be very short, so between 2 and 10 minutes, and anything more than 10 minutes, it's probably not a digital storytelling video. It might be something else, which is why sometimes it can be hard to tell if it's a digital storytelling video or it's not, especially if it's under that 10-minute mark. So there's some questions you can always ask to decipher if it is a storytelling video or not. And that could be, is it, what's the main topic or purpose? Who's it the intended audience? Is the content factual or not biased, especially if you're talking about a historical kind of event or situation? How long is the video? So if it's more than 10 minutes, it's probably not a digital storytelling video, but maybe it is. It depends. You can also ask who created the video and when was it created. Was it created by a student who's like in the 9th grade, or was it created by the 26-year-old guy just wanting to talk about the Great Depression, you know? There's other questions you can ask. There's really a lot of questions you can ask, but those are just a few. Digital storytelling can cover an array of subjects, an array of not platforms, but like an array of genres of storytelling. So it could be, but the most three common tend to be personal narratives, so a story about someone and their life, uh, historical documentary, so an event that occurred in history, and then the third one is informational stories. So are they trying to tell us about a specific topic, a concept, or practice? Something like that. Those are the three that tend to be the most common in digital storytelling. So with this instructional strategy, digital storytelling is huge and a great tool for teachers because it really helps students become more involved in the classroom with content. But it's really great for English language learners too, because when someone's not really confident in their English language speaking capabilities, doing a digital storytelling video can really encourage and support that language learning, because not only could they be talking in their video or narrating it and take their time in doing so, they could also be writing out text, writing out like little thought bubbles or something in the video, and that could also support their language. Also, another way it can be supporting their language is it's like digital storytelling is like writing. It has a process, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. It's also, digital storytelling is great for integrating technology into a student's life, because even though nowadays most students have had some interaction with technology, whether it's a cell phone, a computer, a video game, something, this can integrate more technology into their lives because they can learn how to edit, learn how to use different websites, and using maybe like an online library or other stuff like that to help along their digital storytelling. Also, it can incorporate discussion. So if, say, a student's doing something for a class, like a propaganda video or something on the Great Depression, they can really start talking about more of what's been learned in class and taught in class. And they could talk with the teacher, they could talk with their peers, and really it brings up more of a discussion aspect to the classroom as well. It can also increase social presence, since you can upload an online video to social media, a school website, you can email it to their parents or whatever it may be. The digital storytelling can also help with assessing students' learning. So as the teacher, you can look at the videos or have them make videos and view them later to see what they learned in a certain lesson or unit, and then determine, okay, well, maybe for an informal assessment, you can check it and be like, okay, maybe they need to dig a little deeper, or maybe they didn't understand something specific in this concept. And then as a final, you can be like, okay, cool, this is a full laid out, like, they learned what I was teaching them, which is a great tool for teachers. And there's another informal assessment that I'll talk about later, along with the writing process with this, that'd be really great for teachers. But digital storytelling is also really great with encouraging participation in the classroom and communicating with other students, their peers, because you can have students work in groups, or you can have a student say, hey, to their neighbor and be like, does this look good? Should I change something? Should I fix something? What should it be? Yeah. So more on with digital storytelling. It's a great resource for English language learners to talk about themselves, because when they do a digital story, they can use pictures and videos in their video and narration and audio and other stuff to show maybe more about their culture, their lives, where they're from, where they used to live, all of that, their family. It can really help them communicate who they are as a person, which is a great resource and tool. So when students use digital stories or create digital stories, they become more comfortable and knowledgeable about technology. They learn more how to research online, in their library and online library. It also enhances a lot of learning skills by organizing ideas, asking questions, expressing opinions, constructing narratives, all that kind of stuff. It also really helps with critiquing and teaching students how to critique. So once they publish a video or finish a video, they can critique their own work, and they can also, if they see other videos, critique their peers' works, which is really big in schools, learning how to critique correctly and not in a nasty manner, so to say. And what I really like about digital storytelling is that any age student can do this. I found a lot of things online about like kindergartners doing this for zoo projects or animals or shapes and colors. So you can really use this for any grade level. It's really great. So digital storytelling is kind of like writing an essay. It has a process. You don't just automatically go into a video. You have to brainstorm your ideas of what you want to talk about or say. Then you have to plan. So you have to plan out how you're going to do that. And it helps students then create. So they come up with ideas of like, well, if I talk about this, maybe I could do this. Or like, if I write it this way, I could say it this way in my video. They have to revise what they're doing, just like you would do in writing an essay. Is like when you say something or do something or write something, it might not sound great in a video, so you might have to go back and redo it. And that goes along with editing too. Sometimes you have to edit a video and be like, that doesn't make sense, or that doesn't sound great, so let's edit that. Then you could publish it like you would with a paper. You could put it online, you can send it out in an email, or you could just have it in video form too. And then reflect. So when students see their video, they would reflect on what they did, what they learned, all of that kind of, just by looking at their video. This is a really great form of assessment. Like I said, you could do an informal assessment throughout the process of making this video. So you could assess your students in their learning of whatever, like maybe a history topic or a math concept, by seeing what they brainstormed, seeing what they planned, looking in and seeing what they revised, if you had asked them to revise something, what they edited out, and then you can see the overall concept in a formal assessment by what they published, because then you'll have the overall picture of, oh, okay, they understood this concept in class. You could have students do this in many different ways than just doing a straight up video. So they could be pretending to be a talk show host and they're talking to a literary or historical guest. They could do a comic strip or storyboard, and that would kind of look like this. So, like, this person's walking their dog, and they're like, oh, the sun's coming out, and then the sun's coming out, and it panels down here, oh, the sun's really coming out, and then they're like, oh, wait, never mind, it's not raining. Another way, like comic strip style, is you can do it this way, and have it be like across, left to right. So if one of your students is really into comics, you could have them do something like that. Which is another way you could assess too, in an informal assessment, is by looking at their storyboard plans and seeing like, okay, I see their main idea here, what they're getting, but maybe they could add more detail here. Maybe they're missing something. That's a good way to do an informal assessment. You could also have students do like a public service announcement, a commercial, a documentary, a movie trailer, or a propaganda campaign, something like that. That could also be done in the form of digital storytelling. So it doesn't have to be a straight up video like this, like I'm talking to a camera, but it could be like I could be talking to my guest co-host or something like that if I wanted. One really great thing I learned about this was there are so many resources online. There are so many websites and articles and supports for teachers and students to teach and learn how to do digital storytelling. So like one really great website was called elearningindustry.com. It had a whole bunch of free digital storytelling tools for both the teacher and students to use when they're doing digital storytelling. I think this is a great instructional strategy. You do need to have a plan in place of how you want the storytelling to go. So you want your students to brainstorm, plan, create, revise, edit, publish, and reflect. So it could be in the form of like how you write an essay, but it's all in a digital format. I think this is a great resource for students, especially English language learners, because they don't necessarily have to write or speak in the English form. They could do it in their native language, but they could also learn a lot of English language as well while doing this, which is amazing and what we're all here for in this class. So thanks for watching, and I hope I taught you a little more about digital storytelling. Thanks.